Okay, I'm not saying that my cats are weird, but right, small point, okay? Chloe leaves chicken on her plate, okay? Leaves chicken on her plate. And the cat goes up on the top, worktop, and instead of pulling off the chicken and eating it, is playing with the freaking vegetables. I haven't really got anything in particular in mind to talk about today, but just felt the urge to upload something. So sorry to bore you, but felt the urge to upload something because I hadn't done for a couple of days, and if I don't for a couple of days, I start to feel, I don't know, I start to feel a bit anxious. It's been quite an interesting weekend, really. I went around Becky's house last night, which is again really nice to spend some time with her, but also our old friend Terry was there, and he'd brought around a DVD with some historical footage from 1930s Portsmouth, which was very interesting. Some of the footage was actually about the construction of the houses in the area around us, and that's kind of quite weird, seeing that all those years, you know, from all those years ago, you know, 80 years ago, seeing, you know, how different things were, and the sheer amount of manpower that was put into things in those days, and but it's quite interesting to see that you know, that was footage of, you know, the houses in the nearby streets that now look actually quite old houses, whereas I've got photos of like my you know, the development that my flat's on being built, and that's kind of like quite a weird thing, because as it was constructed, there's bits where you've got kind of like a brand new sparkling building, but it's surrounded by effectively what looks like a bomb site, or, you know, a building site, and it's really, really strange. It's almost surreal, because it looks actually quite fake initially. Makes it almost look like some sort of film set, and that I always felt, that I found was quite weird, but I liked. But yeah, nice to spend time at Becky's. Nice to see her husband Matty and Terry, and it yeah, it was a nice evening. We also introduced Terry to the wonders that are the Big Bang Theory. Now I'd hoped to. Oh God, I've gone into the bit of the dark there. Oh, gone into the dark side. I'd hoped maybe to actually go up to Steve's in Southampton on Saturday, but I just was really quite worn out actually, and fell asleep on the sofa in the afternoon, so that kind of like didn't really come to fruition. I'd stayed up quite late Friday night, and again Saturday night, so all in all, far really from a boring weekend. Friday night I'd had a guest, and I don't know whether to name or not, because although some people being named quite like the idea of being named, but sometimes I don't know, I feel that maybe I shouldn't without kind of their permission. It was a very enjoyable evening, nice Chinese meal. We intended originally to watch DVD, but pretty much just spent the entire evening talking, which was nice, but kind of comes back to that awkward situation that I seem to find myself in, that you kind of don't know how to deal with the very sensitive subject of is that a platonic situation, or is that or has it got potential to be more than that? I'm really good at overthinking things, and I'm really good at overanalyzing things, and to a degree that stops me really leaping without looking, and just kind of, if you pardon the pun, feeling my way through things. But sometimes, sadly, you know, I don't know, you can't control those sorts of things, can you? Either are sparks there for you and it isn't. It's always very sad when perhaps it is for one person but not the other. But I find that harder to deal with than, for example, me really fancying someone and them not being interested in me. I find it even harder to deal with when the shoe's on the other foot. And I don't know, something about my psyche that stops me, I guess, being kind of like quite open to feelings, I guess. I don't know, maybe that's an overanalysis again. Maybe you're either into someone or you're not, and there's it's not a deliberate thing, it's not a snubbing, but it's not very nice, and it's not the easiest thing in the world for them or for you. So hey ho, hopefully haven't lost a friend over that. And I just always feel bad, I always do a bit of soul searching, and I think, do I create an impression that I'm interested when I'm not? Do I do something that leads people, leads the person on to I don't know, am I being cruel and insensitive and unthinking and self-centered, and I don't know. I don't know. Again, perhaps overthinking, the overanalyzing thing kind of kicks in. But these things happen, I guess. When it comes to relationships, I guess maybe the reason why I don't have one is that I don't know, I don't kind of make that leap from, I don't know how to get from the friendship to something else without it being actually a bad thing, or how to, or what is the, what are the, is it dishonest to, perhaps get a bit more intimate with someone when perhaps you don't really feel that for them, and because those feelings could develop, they could grow on you. But is that going in and not feeling that, isn't that dishonest? Isn't that actually the more cruel thing? Isn't that playing on their feelings? Isn't that really more actually using their feelings to get gratification for yourself without really it meaning a lot to you, but it means a lot to them? Isn't that worse? Isn't that, well, that's what I think anyway. That's I don't know, maybe I just kind of like expect the sort of the big romantic thing of, two people being inexorably drawn to each other, that are so interested by what each other are about and what each other have got to say, but don't always agree, and that feel growth in each other because you only learn things. And I only learn things from people that I don't agree with. Is that too much to wish for? Am I kind of like, am I hankering for like the Pride and Prejudice archetype romance, and that never existed and certainly doesn't in 21st century Britain? Does it? Is that kind of too much to think of, or is it really kind of like when it happens, it will happen, but if it isn't happening, it's just not, that's not the right time. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the relationships that I've been in the past. They haven't really constituted a grand plan. They've kind of like evolved. They've kind of just happened, and it's been easy to go with the flow. It's been something that I've wanted, not something that I haven't really wanted. So I don't know. Answers on a postcard, please. What do you mean you don't use postcards? Fine. Then comment on the thingy down the bottom and stuff. Twitter and all of that malarkey. More comments would be good. I'd quite like to see some some comments.